What is up, guys? Ken, also known as Wiltshire here, and welcome to my room tour of 2016. Now, in this video, I'll be showing you guys where the magic happens, where I make all my videos. It used to be in my basement, however, I moved up towards my room for setting everything up. My room is now for sleeping and for, basically my office. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to address is, yes, my room is pink. Do I want it pink? No, I don't want my room pink, but I used to share a room with my brother for 17 years, and my sister moved out 2 years ago, and I moved into this room, and there was a lot of stuff in here. I just moved my stuff in as fast as possible because I was kind of excited to get my own room. That was kind of the fatal error because I wasn't able to re-wallpaper or paint the wall because I had so much stuff in here that now, unfortunately, I'm stuck with pink wallpaper, which is not really a big deal because I have a green screen over there. We'll get over there to that in a second. But that's why I have a pink room. So if you guys are wondering, I have a pink room. Do I want it? Not necessarily, but I just live with it. So yeah. Anyways, so let's move over here towards my dresser area. This is just kind of an area where I keep like action figures and obviously clothes. And this is like an extra chair that I use for recording with my friends when they come over to record videos with me for YouTube and such. Tom likes to use this chair a lot. Well, he doesn't like to use it. Unfortunately, that's the only chair that I have. Anyways, so if we start up here, I have like a plate from Portal where it says accidents hurt, and then it's like you will be hurt, coworkers, the company, science, so on and so forth. I thought that was pretty funny. I have like a bobblehead action figure of Sora that's kind of creepy looking. He looks like Michael Jackson. I only got it for like $10, so it doesn't really matter. If we go down here, I have like a Stitch action figure that I got from Disney on Ice way back in the day. I don't remember how long ago that was, but yeah, I got him from the show. If we move over here, we have my masking tape Sonic that I made in grade 8. He's fully made out of masking tape, and I painted him and sculpted him by hand. Actually, his hand's falling off. Oh no. And he's pretty old. He's from grade 8, and I got a 4+ on him. Way back in the day. Oh no, his hand. I'm going to have to fix that. There we go. I also have a Space Invaders arcade machine coin box that I have there. These are actually some of my creations here, like this kind of wooden drawer area. I'd like to pull it out and show you guys like some of the stuff that's in it. Like my Game Boy Color cartridge of Pokemon Gold version is in there. But I made these in high school, as well as this. I like to call this Thor's hammer. This is actually one of my favorite things that I've made. It's actually made for like hammering nails and stuff like that with a wooden mallet. But I've never used it for that. I just always kind of admired it. Anyway, so if we move over here, we have Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, who's also a bobblehead. I really like this guy. I got him from like a Loot Crate kind of type thing. It's called Arcade Block. They do like similar to Loot Crate, but they do like video games and stuff like that. So it's more geared towards what I like. If we go behind here, I actually have my Inuyasha action figure. I'll move the tape Sonic out of the way for now so we can see what's behind there. So I have an Inuyasha action figure that I got when I was like in grade 7, 8 maybe. He's seen better days. I think one piece of him broke off and I glued it back on, so I can't remember what piece that was. I have like a Knuckles, a Sonic, and another Knuckles that are the same. I have the Sonic Werehog. That game was awful, but I really like the design of the Werehog for Sonic, so I managed to pick up an action figure as well as Shadow. There's a bunch of action figures here. There's also Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us. That was also from the Arcade Block thing. I really like it. And we'll move the tape Sonic back over here. There we go. Make sure his hand doesn't fall off. It's falling off. I gotta fix that. Oh my, I forgot about this thing. I even forgot I left it here. This is what started my YouTube channel right here. This was the very first thing I ever modified in terms of like hardware or video game stuff. This is my original Pandora battery that I cut open with a knife that I had, like a box cutter. It was weird. Anyway, see, this is basically the Pandora battery in a nutshell. I did a terrible job there, but I was in grade like 8. I don't remember. Anyways, this is the thing that started my YouTube career right here. Was PSP hacking videos. Unfortunately, I don't do them anymore. But I probably will redo them. And then there's the magic memory stick that goes along with it. I'm not going to put that back in there. Anyways, I have a few more things. I have another Sonic action figure that's really old. That is actually an expensive one. He's pretty tall. I have Mr. Mackey and another Knuckles. And then there's this. There's this. Like, this is a real scorpion encased in glass. My parents went to Arizona and they brought it back for me. And I have no idea why I've kept this around, but it's still there. And then behind all the action figures and stuff like that, we have the clock that I made in high school. It's kind of like a desktop clock or like a side table clock that just, you can sit anywhere. The door opens and such, and there's glass there. This is the trophy that I won for my Hal Kelly wetback, which is the white speedboat that I have. I won that last summer, and that sits there too. And then behind all of that is my shadow poster. Now, my sister actually drew this. She created this whole poster by herself. There's a lot of glare from the light in the background, like right there. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. But if I move over a little bit, you can see them a little bit better, I guess. She used to work for a graphic design company, and they used to print like bingo dabbers and posters and stuff like that. And she printed this out, drew it, and gave it to me for my 13th birthday. So that was pretty cool. Now, if we move over a little bit, we have all my miscellaneous Blu-rays on the top there with Pokemon Black and White. Ugh. God, I hate that game. Awful game. Awful. Anyways, this is all the gaming stuff that I'm currently playing, or I have currently or recently played. These are all the PS3 games that I've decided that I wanted to play soon or have played in the past recently. So there's like X2, Kingdom Hearts, Ratchet Clank, Kingdom Hearts again, Sly Cooper, The Last of Us, Infamous Collection, and so on and so forth. Those are all organized by platform, and then there's a few GameCube games down here. A few boxes, like Xenoblade Chronicles is right here. There we go. I have my original Game Boy Advance. Kids will never understand the days of not having a backlight when trying to play games. I even forgot that was in there. Does it even turn on? Hold on, I want to turn it on. It turns on! It still works. I'm surprised it still has batteries. And then there's my modded CirclePad Pro. I did a video on that as well. Hey, look, my old iPod Nano is in the back here. Man, I'm finding everything here that I forgot I had. I remember this thing. This was the second MP3 player I had, basically. I went from having a MP3 player with like 128 megabytes of space to an iPod Nano that I think had 4. And then I bought this Belkin case. I think it was a Belkin. Yeah, it is a Belkin case. How about that? And then there's my iPod Touch. Or not my Touch. I'm so used to saying Touch. It's my old iPod Nano. And I should probably use that for running or something. Throw that on my bed. Yeah, so there's a bunch of other games back there. Those are all GameCube games back there. I don't know if you can see them very well. Lighting's kind of poor in my room, which I'm using my studio lights to actually film this video with. If we move down, we have a little bit more video game stuff. We have all my PS4 stuff that I currently have. And then I have Dot Hack, Infection, Mutation. I have the other two, which is Outbreak and Quarantine, I believe. I can't remember the third one. I know one's Quarantine, but I have the full set of the first 4 Dot Hack games. But those are the 2 I've been playing recently. So the other ones are where all my other games are, which is like in a giant ottoman. Anyways, so I have a few CDs here of the music I like. I also have a Klonoa that's sitting there for some reason. I have 2 Game Boy Advance SPs. That was for the series that I was doing with Tom with Crystal Chronicles. We need to continue that, actually. And then back there, like my Vita games, my PlayStation 1 games. Just to name a few, I have Tactics, F7, 8, 9. Yeah, anyway. So those are some of the games that I have. If I move down to the bottom here in this drawer, this is kind of like the miscellaneous hardware section. Like I have my old HD PVR here, my very first HD PVR, it's in the back there. I have a few N64 games in there. I'm not going to pull everything out. There's an N64 in here, a component switch. There's another N64 down here, but you probably can barely see it. It's a Sega Genesis at the bottom here. There's a few Super Nintendo games under here, actually, like Super Mario World. That's a great game, too. I have a broken 3DS that is for parts. And yeah, so basically that's just a hardware drawer that I put all the stuff I'm not using in. So we'll put that back. These are actually like woodworking clamps. I'm a woodworker, so I have a bunch of clamps, and these are my foam roller for when I run. I'm a track runner as well. This is one of my best friends, one of my love-hate relationships. Those things make you feel, your legs feel like garbage when you're rolling them out, but afterwards it feels so much better. I'm gonna stand up. This is my bed. I haven't made it. I don't care. So let's move on over to basically the area where all the magic happens. So this is like my working area here. All the technology, all the power that it sucks. It's a good thing I don't pay the power bill. Luckily, my parents pay the power bill. So we move over to the desk on the left. This is where some of the technology is. Actually, that's a contract from Full Screen. I should probably put that away so you guys don't see that, because that is confidential. This is the 3DS that is modded with a capture card in it, as well as the controller mod. This is Tom's, my buddy's Tom's. I lent him mine because mine is updated to the latest firmware, and we're using his for our Omega Ruby randomizer Nuzlocke playthrough. And his hasn't been updated to the latest firmware. We need it for browser hacks. So there's the mod for the controller right on the right beside the headphone jack, and then there's the capture card on the back there. So there we go. I also like to use the Wavebird, the wireless Wavebird with the GameCube controller mod for the 3DS. So I can just place the 3DS literally anywhere and then just like play the game as if it were a normal console, which is great because these things hurt. They hurt my hands. I have very big hands. Anyways, these are my other two 3DSs. I have a Yoshi XL, a normal XL. It's the old XL. And then I have a new 3DS XL, which is still in the bubble wrap as well. I don't know. I like to keep my stuff in the bubble wrap when I'm not using them. So I have all my 3DSs, 3DSis. I don't know. I don't know what that is. The correct pronunciation. So right here we have my router. We have an Asus 2400, or an AC 2400, I should say, by Asus. This is a beast of a router. It's a dual band router. It's got 2.4 gigahertz as well as 5 gigahertz band. I've never had a problem with this router. This router is amazing. I really recommend it if you do feel like dropping almost $300 on a router. Anyways, so we move over a bit, and if we move down, we have my Nintendo Wii that barely ever gets used. This is just sitting here in case my GameCube dies, I guess, while I'm recording my GameCube Let's Play. This is my modem. I believe it's a, I don't remember the name of it now. It's a Thomson DC756. I can't remember exactly what it's called. That's the modem for my internet. I have my own internet connection to my house. My speeds for my internet are a 150 megabits down and 20 megabits up. So if you're wondering, that's my upload speed and my download speed for my internet. I have an HDMI splitter. Now this is where things are going to get rather complicated because I have a certain setup that I have had to set up with all these cables and converter boxes and everything so I can record from my PlayStation 3. Now the PlayStation 4 has the option to turn off HDCP. The PlayStation 3 doesn't. So I've had to strip that away so I can record it properly and everything else. So what I have done here is that the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, they both output to a HDMI switch, which is underneath my PlayStation TV right here, as you can see. Put that guy back down. I also have the Japanese vertical stand for it, which unfortunately only came in white. I'm probably going to paint that black someday. So we have the HDMI switch here. It also comes with like a little remote that I can use. So what I have done is I've plugged the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and whatever else I want to plug in there, like maybe the Steam Link that's sitting here for a friend. I plug it into the HDMI switch, and then I can switch in between the two. And then that output from the switch goes into the splitter. Now, the splitter splits the signal into two, so it goes one input to two outputs. There we go. Hard to say. And one output goes into a HDMI to DVI converter, and then that goes into my capture card, which strips away HDCP. Now, the problem with that is that the signal gets really weak, so I can't run it through any other converters that I have, so I have to split the signal and then take it again. Now what I've done for my setup is that I have a HDMI audio extractor, so I have HDMI pass-through and then RCA audio out on the box, and that allows me to listen to the game audio using my headset. So that is kind of a quick rundown of the whole setup I got going on. My PS4 is actually on right now, and you can see it right there. My buddies want me to play COD, but I want to do this video quickly. I have the 20th anniversary edition of the PlayStation 4 controller. I actually have never used this controller, so I don't know. This is kind of a thing. I've got a problem with buying controllers because I have 20th anniversary, the white version, blue, the camo one is on my desk over here, and then I have a black one somewhere. The black one is the one that came with my console that's kind of effed up. So I also have the limited edition baseball one. Baseball is my favorite sport, if you are wondering. I have the Steam controller. That controller is really weird. Like, it takes a really long time to get used to it. And this is my very first controller ever that I had for my PlayStation 3. You can see it's been through a little bit of a rough time. It's collected quite a bit of dust. I actually modded this controller. Like, the PS button glows blue, but it's dead, and there's a giant crack in it too when I dropped it. There's also a Super Nintendo over here, as well as a PSP, my very first portable console that I bought by myself instead of having it like a gift or anything. Saved up my money for that, got the Daxter PSP and hacked the crap out of that. And then I have my PlayStation Vita, which I've been playing rather recently, and then there's all my games and stuff like that. Let's see what I got here. I got Little Big Planet, Uncharted, MLB, Touch My Katamari, I have Conception 2, and I have Final Fantasy X on the Vita as well. So if we back up a little bit, I will get into my rather ridiculous setup here. So I have 4 studio lights for the green screen. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the green screen is here. Now what I've done, because of the limitation of the size of my room, like my room's not very big. If I can turn around and I can literally almost touch my arms from side to side. It's probably 2 times my arm span. Yeah, so what I've done is I've set the green screen up to be kind of like a curtain. So what I do is I would, set everything up normally, sit in my chair, and then I would pull this over like kind of like this. It's got stuck. There we go. Like this. Back up a bit here, and I would clip it with those clips that are up here, like so. And that's how I use my green screen. I have like a portable green screen stand, which is like right here. It's not the best. It's kind of flimsy. I only got it for like $100. So, yeah. But that's how I use my green screen. That's my setup. And the good thing about this like kind of flimsy one is that it comes apart real easy. So if I ever want to move it anywhere, I can move it. And yeah. So I'm just gonna bring this back as if it were like a curtain, as I said before. There we go. All right. You probably saw my keyblade. I have an actual keyblade. It's metal. And it's hanging up on my wall. I have my college diploma. I'm probably going to have to blur out my name. Anyways, if we move down here, we have another thing that I created. This is the solid oak table that I created myself. I made this in the first year of college. Unfortunately, I didn't finish it in the first year of college. I ended up finishing it halfway through my second year. Kind of a personal goal that I wanted to finish it, but it's made out of solid red oak. And this is one of my favorite things that I've ever made in terms of woodworking. I have a few books over here. I have the Hyrule Historia. I believe I have the Final Fantasy X guidebook, Golden Sun 1 and 2 guidebook, Final Fantasy 7 guidebook. That, I think, is the Andre Agassi biography, as well as Russell Peters' biography that is over here. I have a few mangas of Dot Hack and Kingdom Hearts. I also have The Giver. That's actually not a bad book. I don't read too much, but I like The Giver, actually. And then there's all my 3DS games that are sitting here, which is Pokemon X and Y, Smash Bros, Bravely Default, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I have Luigi's Mansion, Pokemon Omega Ruby, Kingdom Hearts 3D, Rayman 3D, Ocarina of Time 3D, The Legends of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds, and Star Fox 64 3D. This is another thing I made. This was like a spice rack that I made in high school. The cool thing is it's got like a mirror that I put in it, and you can slide the door over. It's actually really stiff because like wood is always moving, so like the moisture on the wood will cause it to swell or contract. And it's seemed to have swelled a little bit. There we go. You can also see me. Hi. So yeah, you can slide it back and forth. This was my old wallet, actually. I forgot where that was. And yeah, there's a few shelves there, and I have like keychain holder. I like, had to hold it to slide it over because it's very stiff. Come on. There we go. It's a little bit difficult to slide over, but I have a few keychains and stuff like that, and there's a little area where I can put things in. So that was one of the other things I made in high school. I have a few trophies up here. I have one from track. I believe that was most valuable runner. I can't remember what it was. There's one from baseball. I used to bowl as well, and this was from 2005. I came second. The funny thing is that I wasn't even supposed to be in this tournament because I didn't make it. And then someone couldn't make it to that tournament, and I ended up coming second. They woke me up, and then they drove me right there, and I was half awake for that tournament. And they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna bowl in that tournament." There's a lot more stuff like up here, and there's a shelf, and there's like a Naruto poster there. Up there in the shelf, those are all awards that I won from high school. I was the most valuable player, I guess, for the track team for 4 years in a row. There's a random Shadow and Scooby-Doo hanging up there. If we move down here, these are my two computers. This is my big guy. This is Colossus. And then there's the Stream box that I like to call it. The Stream box is over here. I have two PCs. This one is for gaming and editing mostly. The one on the right is for streaming and recording only. I have my capture card, which is the X-Capture 1, hooked up to this computer. And it requires a lot of CPU power because it's lossless footage. And this guy is dedicated to recording that, while this guy can game as well. I can also plug my computer into that capture card too. So it relieves stress from this computer, and that one takes over really. The specs for this computer are an i7-4790K, a GTX 980 by MSI. I have 32 gigs of RAM, which is the Corsair Vengeance Pro series. I have two Intel 730s and RAID 0 as the boot disk drive. I have three 6 terabyte hard drives in it. What else do I have in here? I have a Corsair H100i as a cooler. I have a Sound Blaster ZX for my sound card. I have a Intel, I think it's an X540T1 Ethernet adapter card. Now what I've done with these two computers is they both have that card, and I've hooked them up via Ethernet, and those two computers can communicate with each other and move files back and forth with using the Ethernet cable. So I don't have to copy all my files over to a hard drive or a portable or a flash drive or something, wait for it to copy, then plug it into the other computer, and then wait for it to copy again. I can simply just read and write files while using either computer, so that helps. So this one records, and then I use those Ethernet adapter cards to read the footage that's coming from this computer and edit it on this computer. So that's very helpful to me. Yeah. And the cool thing is I have a DX Racer chair as well. I haven't showed that off yet. A very comfortable chair. That's one of my favorite chairs. I got that for Christmas. That was my only Christmas gift I got one year because all my family members pitched in to buy that for me. So we'll move that over there. And the cool thing is my desk. I'm going to move that contract out of the way. My phone is also here. What time is it? All right, 6:34. I still got some time to do this video before my friends yell at me. So this is my desk. It has USB ports built into the desk, as well as a mic jack and a headphone jack. There's another USB port there. There's some in the corner over here. You can't see. This is my second keyboard for the second computer, so I can control the other computer. Stream box, if you will. There's more USBs over here in the corner. They're all USB 3. So I believe there's 7 USBs, and there's one you can barely see over there, man. Let's see here. Anyways, there's HDMI over here. You can barely see it. I apologize. And then there's another USB, and then there's outlets, so I can plug in like a phone charger. And I like to keep a tablet here to use as the Twitch chat. So whenever I stream, I bring up the Twitch chat on the tablet, so it's right in front of me. So when I'm playing games, you can see it, and then I plug it in to the outlet that's on my desk. So that's pretty useful right there. I'll try and get in there for you guys. So as you can see, I have outlets, HDMI, and then USB beside it. I use the USB sometimes for my webcam, but right now it's plugged into the main computer. The keyboard that I have is the Razer, what is it? Black Widow Ultimate 2014 edition. It's not an RGB one, unfortunately, but it works. It's my other GoPro. Yeah, my desk has a carbon fiber laminate on it, and it's like the best surface to drag your mouse on. So this is my other mouse for my streaming computer. But literally, it's like the best mouse pad I could ever have. This is a random Pokemon emblem, or from a necklace that I'm going to turn into an emblem to put on someone's computer. Just a micro SD card reader to USB 3.0, so I can get the footage off my GoPros. There's a few there. There's the case there. This is the Razer Taipan, I think it's called Taipan. This is the mouse that I like to use for my main computer. It's really light, that's why I like it. This other one is kind of overkill. I just bought it because it was on sale. I have a audio mixing board here. So what this does is it takes the audio from my PS4, which is extracted from the HDMI audio extractor, as I said before. It goes into this mixing board. My streaming computer's sound also goes into this mixing board. So the PS4 is on the right here, the third slider. My streaming computer is on the second slider, and my main computer is on the first slider. Now, I use this for streaming and recording my videos because I can control the sound, the levels of sound, so like Skype, the PS4 volume, and music if I'm ever playing it. And then it outputs to headphones, which I got here, and then it goes underneath my desk. And I've got a pair of headphones that are actually, you know what? I have to show you guys this. So this is my desk. This is pretty cool, right? So, you know, it's got outlets, USBs, whatever. There's actually lights underneath the desk. Here, I'll show you. Watch this. Bam. So I have lights right underneath the desk. There's a switch on the side of the desk over here. Right here, there's two switches. So this is the lights, and this is for the headphone jack splitter. So there's two headphone ports on the desk, one on the left-hand side and one over in the right there. So you can switch in between the two ports if you want. So you can have headphones plugged in over there. That's what that port is actually designed for. It's designed for like a PC headset. So one that utilizes the mic jack, headphone jack, and then needs USB power to power it. So one of them is a mic, one is a headphone. I can't remember which one is which. They were labeled, but I think it rubbed off. So unfortunately, not a big deal. So yeah, there's the light switch on the side here, so I can change from the lights that are underneath. So if I switch this, there's not too much room because my computer's big. And if I flip it forward there's lights that are in the back. So if I flip it again, there you go. So there's like an accent lighting that you can choose for the back. But I like to keep the bottom on because I have, as you can see, like a bunch of cables. It's ridiculous under here. I also have a DX Racer footrest that I have. It also matches my chair. It's red and black. I like that footrest. So these are the headsets that I was talking about. So this is the one that goes into the audio mixer. This is the one I use all the time. It's an Audio-Technica ATH M20. It's kind of a cheapy headset. I think I got it for like $65 or something like that. And then I have a headphone stand that sits on underneath there. I had to buy, you can barely see, I'm sorry guys, but I had to buy like this converter box here because the audio mixer that I bought actually came from the UK, this guy right here. And I live in Canada, so the the power is different. The power cable, ours are like two prongs with one ground in the middle, but theirs is like just two normal prongs, and it's really strange. So I had to buy a converter to make sure I can use that properly. In the back here we have my audio mixer, which is an Alesis Multimix 4. I'll see if I can get up in there for you guys. I use this for streaming and recording my audio all the time. This is an XLR and a 1/4-inch jack mixer. It goes into USB into my computer, so I can use it with Audacity or Audition. And it's got phantom power too, so you can use a microphone that requires phantom power. My microphone is right over here. It's on this nice boom arm, so if I ever need to move it out of the way, I can just push it up like that. That's what I usually normally do, is just push it up like that. And I have a pop filter. I can't remember what the pop filter's name is, to be honest with you. Just a generic double pop filter, because I pronunciate my P's and T's very harshly, so I need a double-sided pop filter to help me out with that. So if I move the pop filter out of the way for a bit, this is my microphone. This is one of my favorite microphones I've ever used, and it is the Audio-Technica AT4040. I I had a Blue Yeti before this. I still have it actually. It's over there somewhere. But this is the microphone that I use for all my videos. It's a very good microphone. The boom arm is the Rode PSA 1, if you're wondering what it is. And that is pretty much my setup in a nutshell, if you were wondering about all my videos and stuff. Actually, you know what? There's still a few things that I can show you. Like in the corner here, this is my X-Capture 1. As you can see, this is all the cable mess that I've had to go through, all the converters. I've actually had to draw diagrams of all the cables and what they do and where they go. And this is my subwoofer actually for my my main computer. It is a Klipsch Pro Audio 2.1. So there's the other speaker there, and then there's the other speaker right there. And they can shake my house. Like, they can definitely shake my house. Like, you don't have any idea. Like, they can shake my house. Like, here, I'll play a song real quick. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted for it. So, okay, enough of that. I don't feel like getting copywritten. But yeah, they can shake my house. Those speakers. Anyways, that's pretty much my setup in a nutshell. It's a little cramped, I know, but you know what? I have to deal with what I've got, unfortunately. But I hope you guys enjoyed this room tour. I tried to clean up as best as possible. I just don't have that much room, unfortunately, in my room. So if it looked messy, I'm sorry. I tried. I cleaned up before this. I tried. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys like a video like this, hit that like button below. I'd very much appreciate that. If you guys want to see more things like this or more tutorials in the near future, I hope you guys hit that subscribe button as well. As always, I've been Ken, also known as Wiltshire, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.